I'm going to walk you through some of the tools that Explain Everything has. Now remember, we bought this screencasting tool because of the tools and functionality that it has, and it's really a step above some of the other screencasting programs that are out there, especially if you have the capabilities to have a drawing tablet. Even if you don't, there's a lot of things in Explain Everything that things like Screencastify and Screencast-O-Matic don't have. So I'm just going to quickly run through some of these tools. Again, I'm doing this quickly, so I do suggest that you go and kind of play around with some of these and do your own research in terms of all the tools that are within Explain Everything. So you're looking at a PDF of a Google Slides presentation that I've opened up. So these are all my slides. So down here in the corner, you can see the slides. So this is slide 2 out of 11. And you can basically click through your slides as you go. So the first tool that you see here is the pointer tool. That's what's open. That just moves things around on the page. If you chose to lock your pages when you uploaded them, then that would not move around like that. So that's something to keep in mind. So the pointer tool is like your mouse. You're going to use that to select things and move things around. The button here above the pointer tool, this is the add media. So you have the option to insert a picture into your page that you're on, insert a screenshot. If you have a video that you've already saved onto your computer or a file like a PDF, like a worksheet or something, you can insert that. You also have the ability to insert like little clip art things that are already in here. So you can search for different things, add cute little, different things to your presentations, whatever you want to do, emojis, things like that. So that's that tool. And then you can also add an audio file if you would like to do that. The next tool, this is your pencil or your draw tool. This is the best tool, especially if you have one of the writing tablets or if you're on an iPad and you are writing with a stylus. So with this, you can select if you want to use a pencil or a pencil or a pen. I personally use the pen. It just looks better in my opinion. You can also change how thick the tool is, like that. And then you can change the color of it. You can also fill it in. Again, these are things to kind of play around with, but with the color, you can also create your own custom color if you want. So there's lots of different things you can do there. The other tool is the highlighter. So just like you would imagine, this is where you can highlight things. So you can change the color. You can change, again, the thickness to highlight different parts of your presentation. And then say you make a mistake, you've got the eraser tool. You can change again how much you're erasing and just erase what you don't want anymore. You can also, if you want to, you can just use the undo button and you can use the redo button whenever you need to. Then you have this fill button. I haven't really found any reason to use this yet. It may provide you with some reason to use it, but I can't really figure out why I would use it, but play around with it, decide how you might want to use it. The shapes, you can insert different shapes. So for instance, these are like kind of like a frame or a box. So you can insert that and then it might draw attention to something, or you could fill that box. You can also insert text into that box. So you could insert a text box and then you can type in the box during your presentation, or before you start recording, you could type something and it would be added into there. Also with the shapes, another cool function of shapes is if you click this gray box, you get the option of different shapes. So one cool thing is to add like an arrow, and you can add it in there. And again, you're just drawing attention to things. And once you have it, then you can kind of select it. You can move it around, you can rotate it, you can make it bigger, smaller, things like that. So that's a really good function to call attention to different parts of your presentation. The next thing is the text. So as you just saw, I was able to make a text box. You can choose a border. You can change your font size. So if you're trying to make it really big, really small, play around with that. You can change the type of font that you have, which is great. There's so many things that you can do with this. You can also change the alignment. I believe here with like math, this would be good for math with superscripts and subscripts, or with chemistry. So you can play around with all of that. This tool is actually a tool that like cuts out. So then you can move that around. So if you wanted to highlight like, you had something, oops, you had something down here that you want to just like cut a piece out and then you want to use it somewhere else. So I don't know if that would be very functional, but it might be something that you're interested in. So how do I delete all of these things? A lot of times like, oops, I made a mistake, right? So if you want to delete something, this X, you'd click that first and then click on the thing you want to delete and then just press the red X. So you just go through and delete whatever you don't want. If you want to delete a bunch of stuff at once, highlight it all, press the X, it's all gone, right? So oops, I deleted my whole slide. I didn't want to do that, undo. So there's a lot of functionality with this. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, this is just like a pointer option. So the default is like a little laser pointer. So if you're recording and you're trying to point out something, you can use that. You can also change your pointer. You can have a cute little lightsaber and point out things with the lightsaber. Any of those would be like kind of your different pointer tools. So play around with that. And then the other thing is like if you do open up something and this is like in your way when you're recording, you can use these two little equal signs up here and you can pull this over here if it's in your way. You can move it literally wherever you want on the page. This is the zoom in feature. So if you wanted to zoom in on a particular spot, you're able to do that. This up here just gives you your title. So your project name and then frame options, usually you're going to keep it in landscape 16 by 9. That's default, and I haven't found any reason to not do that unless I guess you're using like a worksheet that's a PDF like 8.5 by 11. You might use the portrait. And then down here is your recording button where you would start recording. So if I started this recording, it's recording now everything that I'm doing on the screen. So if I'm writing, moving anything around, it's going to record all of that. And then when I press stop, now you see down here kind of the editing thing. So the next video will focus on the editing. And we'll go through that and those tools. So I think, and then up here is the share button. Again, creating the video link, and we'll talk more about that in this presentation. So that's just a basic overview of the tools. If you have any questions, please let me know, and definitely play around on your own.